Fox 5 News at 6, local Las Vegas.
It's a good day to be a NASCAR fan in the Valley.
Yeah, a second race is coming to Las Vegas, and it will also fall in the middle of NASCAR playoffs. We have team coverage for you tonight. Fox 5's chief meteorologist Ted Priddy will have more on the weather for NASCAR weekend.
Yeah, but first, Vince Sapienza is live to tell us more about the big announcement today. Vince.
Yeah, Christine, today was a historic day, not just for the city of Las Vegas, not just for the LVCVA, and not even for NASCAR, but for racing fans here locally all over. Now, for years, the city of Las Vegas has just been a stop for the NASCAR season, but now they are a fixture. And now, with their second race being set to be run in September of 2018, the third or fourth weekend, it will be a playoff race, which means more eyeballs, more pressure, and more stakes on the line. Now, earlier today, there was a meeting held, a special meeting by the city of Las Vegas and the LVCVA to approve if this second race would be given the green light. And the only question that was asked was by Mayor Carolyn Goodwin, who asked, why did it take so long? They say it's been 6 years in the making, but talking to race fans, it's been more than a decade that they've been trying to get a second race here in Las Vegas. And speaking with some of the local drivers, they say this one is all about the fans.
If it can add one more driver from the bull ring that says, I want to get there, and he can get there, it's worth it to me on a personal level because it's a young man that works hard to do it. But what I really think it does is it adds the true enjoyment of a fan. They can come to a destination that has a million things to do, catch their great race, and do a family vacation in the middle of it and do, go see the Blue Man Group and still have a great time.
Now, again, this is a big deal, not just for NASCAR, but the economics of Las Vegas as well. As we all know, we're just days away from race weekend, and the LVCVA say they expect $139 million in economic impact with 114,000 people attending. 96,000 of that 114,000 are set to be from out of town. Their early estimates for the second race that will be held in 2018 is more than 100,000 out-of-towners alone. So obviously big news, and earlier today Kyle Busch joked that this may be the second race, but this is the third NASCAR event Las Vegas will see per year now. Of course, he's talking about the NASCAR awards at the end of the season, and he says being a local guy, that's just more chances for him to win in front of his home crowd. Now, coming up a little later tonight at Fox 5 News at 10 and 11, we'll hear from more of the drivers and why it's so special to have this second race. But for now, from Cashman Center, I'm Vince Sapienza of Fox 5 News Local Las Vegas. We're going to toss it over to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and Chief Meteorologist Ted Priddy.
Well, those NASCAR fans who got here on Monday have really seen a change in the weather. Remember, our high on Monday was just 57 degrees. We saw upper 60s yesterday, but today, 75 degrees, a little taste of what's to come with 80-degree weather starting tomorrow. Absolutely perfect conditions. And if you talk to some people who have been up here, like these folks, ever since this race started some 19 years ago, they've experienced everything from snow this late in the winter to heavy winds, also rain, of course, from time to time, and just downright cold temperatures. Almost perfect conditions for the fans, especially if you have seats that will be in partial shade or in shade for the race on Friday with pole day, and also for the Sam Boyd race on your Saturday, and of course the Cobalt race, the big race on Fox 5 on Sunday. So 80-degree weather. It all starts tomorrow, even a little warmer for the weekend. And we'll have those big numbers for you and what to expect weather-wise through the weekend and beyond coming up in just a few minutes. You want to stick around for that.
Sounds good, Ted. Thank you. It is the third day of trial for former MMA fighter War Machine, accused of beating, raping, and trying to kill his ex-girlfriend, Christy Mack. And today, she took the stand. Normally, we wouldn't identify a rape victim during a trial, but Christy Mack has publicly stated that she's okay with being identified. Mack talked about War Machine did to her and showed some of her injuries that she suffered. Fox 5's Adam Herbets will have more on her emotional testimony coming up in 6 minutes. A man with a large knife held family members hostage, causing a nearly 4-hour standoff with police. Officers were called to a domestic violence incident around noon near Rainbow and Flamingo. Police say a man became agitated, armed himself with a large knife, and threatened to hurt his family. A 12-year-old was held hostage. SWAT and crisis negotiators were called to the scene to talk to the guy. Police say he was taken into custody around 3:30 this afternoon, and the child is safe.
A day without women is a day without anything.
A day without women. Around the country and the world, women made their voices heard about equality. Protesters dressed in red marched the streets, and many women did not go to work. It's all to celebrate International Women's Day. It is International Women's Day today, but up at Carson City, it's been about women all week long. Fox 5 Cindy Lundenberg joins us now in the Fox 5 Content Center to tell us details on what lawmakers are working on. Cindy.
Well, in Carson City, like you were saying, Christine, it's Women's Week. All week long, lawmakers have been introducing bills aimed at helping women. One of those bills introduced this week is the Equal Rights Amendment. Nevada tried to pass it in 1973, 1995, and 1997. It failed every time. This year, it did pass the state Senate. It will now have to pass the Assembly to be ratified. Supporters say it will grant everyone, including women, equal protection under the law. Opponents of the Equal Rights Amendment say this bill is merely symbolic. So today, we went out and asked local women here in Las Vegas what they would like to see lawmakers focus on.
People have hardships with childcare. You know, people are still struggling with equal pay. People are still struggling, you know, with health care.
We're really high on domestic violence against women and also homicides against women from domestic partners.
There were two other bills also discussed this week. Assembly Bill 249, which would allow doctors to provide a year of birth control with no copay. Also Senate Bill 233, which would require insurance companies to cover prenatal screenings, also hormone replacement, which is a common treatment for women who would be going through menopause. Other issues that the legislature is likely to tackle in the coming weeks include equal pay, sex trafficking, also child care. Live in the Content Center, Cindy Lundenberg, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
All right, Cindy, thank you. A picture from one of the Women's Day rallies is capturing national attention. Take a look. It shows a little girl here dressed as a superhero. You see her on the left with a mask on, imitating the same pose of this fearless girl statue. It's a bronze statue on Wall Street in New York. It was installed a day ahead of the rallies to call attention to gender diversity in the boardroom. The woman who snapped this picture says when the girl threw off her jacket to look at the statue, it took her breath away.
The North Las Vegas Police Department is taking the day to remember a few of their own.
It's not an easy day whenever any law enforcement agency finds out one of their own is passed in the line of duty. So it was shocking. We are still in grieving right now over the loss of Detective Parquet.
Raul Elizondo Day has been celebrated at Elizondo Elementary School since 1999. Elizondo was a beloved officer who was killed in the line of duty in 1995. And the day served to remember fallen officers, including, as the officer mentioned, Detective Chad Parquet, who passed away early this year. It started with a flag-raising ceremony, and later there was an honor parade and a canine demonstration.